Hey people of YouTube, today we're covering the complete installation of the 36-inch Harrington ceiling fan by Home Decorators collection. If you found this video, you might be looking for some help and some guidance. We're here to do just that. We've already unpacked the fan, we're going to go through all the parts, and then we're going to install this thing step by step all the way to turning it on. If you don't want to watch the whole video, feel free to use the links below, and that'll take you to each individual step of the process. If after you watch the video and you find it helpful, please click like and subscribe down below, and that'll help other people find it as well. So just a couple of notes about the fan before getting started. It is a dual mount fan, meaning that it can be hung from a standard flat ceiling with the included downrod or from a higher angled ceiling with an extension downrod you'd purchase separately. It does include a three-way color changing LED light kit that allows you to choose from 3 different color temperatures from 2700K warm white to 3000K soft white to 5000K daylight to easily blend with your home's lighting scheme. It has some quick install features like a slide-on mounting bracket, twist and lock glass, and the remote receiver has a quick connect wire harness plug to make attaching to the fan quick and easy, and all these features make for an easier installation. Now before we get started, just a couple of notes. You want to make sure that the electricity is turned off at the breaker box and at the wall switch. If you don't feel comfortable working around electricity, please consult with a licensed electrician. And one other note is if you're hanging this fan where there is just a light fixture on your ceiling, you need to make sure that the outlet box is clearly marked acceptable for fan support. If not, you'll need to swap that out before beginning. So as you can see here, we've already unpacked the fan and we've opened up the manual to the parts page. We're just going to go through all the parts to make sure we have everything before beginning, and that way we don't get stuck along the way. So first up, you have the slide-on mounting bracket. That comes pre-installed inside the canopy with a magnetic decorative ring on the bottom, and we'll show you in the first step how to remove that to get started. You'll have the decorative motor collar cover, the ball and downrod assembly, 5 reversible blades, 3 frame attachment pieces, 3 frame attachment pads, 3 of the cycle frame pieces, the light kit pan, the twist and lock glass shade, the color changing LED module, the fan motor. You'll also have a hardware pack that has the blade attachment screws, the plastic wire nuts, and the hanger and locking pin. And you'll have another hardware bag that has the decorative nuts and bolts for the frame attachment. If installing this fan with an extension downrod, you'll have a bit of extension wiring, and you'll have the remote and receiver. The receiver does include a quick connect wire harness plug to make wiring to the fan quick and easy, and the battery is included for your convenience. So before we get started, just a couple of tools we're going to need. You'll need a Phillips head screwdriver, you'll need a wrench or a pair of pliers, you might need a pair of wire cutters and strippers. We like to have a line voltage tester to make sure the wires aren't live before beginning. You'll need some electrical tape, and of course a ladder. So we have everything here, we're ready to begin. Let's do this. The mounting bracket comes pre-installed inside the canopy with the decorative ring attached. To remove the mounting bracket, first pull off the decorative ring. It's magnetic, so it just pulls off. You'll notice an alignment post at the base of the canopy. You'll need to loosen but not remove the 2 screws in the base of the canopy, enough so that that alignment post can exit that hole. Once those 2 screws are loosened, you'll simply lift and twist the mounting bracket to remove it from the canopy. This fan features a slide-on mounting bracket for easy installation. The bracket has 2 keyhole slots that will align with the 2 screws in the outlet box. Simply align the slots of the mounting bracket with the screws in the outlet box and then slide to hold in place before tightening. This is just a demonstration. To install the mounting bracket, begin by using a Phillips head screwdriver to loosen but not remove the 2 screws in the outlet box. Next, feed the house supply lines through the mounting bracket and align the slots of the mounting bracket with the screws that were loosened in the outlet box. Then slide the mounting bracket into place. Then, use a Phillips head screwdriver to completely tighten both of the outlet box screws and secure the mounting bracket. Make sure that both screws are completely tightened. The cycle frame piece has a notch cutout on the bottom of the frame. That cutout will align with the stud inside the frame bracket. Place the frame piece onto the bracket so that the notch cutout sits on that stud. Repeat this step for the second cycle frame piece on the opposite side of the bracket. Then repeat this process 2 more times until you have an enclosed circle of the cycle frame pieces. Slide the short end of the upper frame piece with the notch cutouts into the frame bracket. Make sure that the upper frame piece is on the outer edge of the cycle frame circle. Secure the pieces using the decorative nut and the frame attachment screws. The decorative nut has a square edge that'll fit into the square opening of the frame bracket. Insert the decorative frame screw on the inside of the circle frame piece so that it goes into the nut. Start both screws and then completely tighten using a wrench or a pair of pliers. Repeat this process for the 2 remaining upper frame pieces. Make sure all 6 screws are completely tightened before proceeding. The fan is shipped with cardboard motor stops to prevent movement during shipping. Simply pull them out of the motor and discard. To attach the blades, flip the fan motor over so that you can see the blade attachment screw holes. The blades are reversible, so choose the finish that you'd like to see and make sure that that side is facing up. Insert the blade into the slot on the side of the motor, aligning the 3 screw holes at the end of the blade with the 3 screw holes in the base of the motor. Use the blade attachment screws found in the hardware pack and start a screw in each of the 3 holes. Once all 3 screws are started, completely tighten using a Phillips head screwdriver. Repeat this process for the 4 remaining blades, making sure that all of the screws are completely tightened. Once all the blades are installed, flip the fan over and proceed to attaching the frame. Before attaching the decorative frame, you'll need to remove the 3 screws in the black rubber gasket on the top of the fan motor. There are a total of 9 screws. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to remove and save those 9 screws. Once those screws are removed and saved, place the decorative frame over the fan. Align the 3 screw holes at the end of each of the decorative frame pieces with the screw holes from the screws that were removed and saved. Start a screw in each of the 3 holes. Once all the screws are started, completely tighten using a Phillips head screwdriver. Then repeat this process for the 2 remaining frame pieces. Make sure all screws are completely tightened. Before attaching the downrod, you'll need to use a Phillips head screwdriver to loosen but not remove the 2 set screws located on the motor collar. Next, gently pull the green ground wire from inside the ball and downrod assembly. Then, place the canopy on the downrod so that the downrod exits the smallest hole of the canopy. Next, place the decorative ring on the downrod. Make sure the black side with the notches is facing towards the canopy. The last piece is the decorative motor collar cover. Slide that onto the downrod, making sure that the largest opening is facing towards the end of the downrod. Then gently feed the wires through the bottom of the downrod so that they exit through the ball portion. Gently pull the wires through until the downrod meets the motor collar at the top of the motor. Insert the downrod into the motor collar. Locate the hanger pin in the hardware pack and align the holes at the end of the downrod with the holes in the motor collar. Insert the hanger pin through one hole so that it goes through the downrod and exits the hole on the opposite side of the motor collar. Then take the locking pin and insert that into the hole in the end of the hanger pin until it snaps in place. Once the hanger pin and locking pin have been set, use a Phillips head screwdriver to completely tighten the 2 set screws on the motor collar. Once those screws are tight, slide the motor collar cover down and rest the canopy ring and canopy on the motor collar cover. Before hanging the fan, it's important to note the slot in the ball that will engage the tab in the mounting bracket. When hanging, you'll insert the ball into the mounting bracket and then rotate the fan assembly until you feel the slot engage the tab. This is just a close-up demonstration. Before hanging the fan, Move the house supply lines out of the way to make room for the ball to insert into the mounting bracket. Lift the fan assembly up to the ceiling, noting the location of the slot and the tab in the mounting bracket. Insert the ball into the mounting bracket. Rotate the fan assembly until you feel the slot engage the tab in the mounting bracket. The fan will drop slightly when properly seated. To prepare the remote, start by removing the battery compartment cover. Install the included battery according to the diagram inside the battery compartment. If you have more than one remote control fan in the house, it's a good idea to change the dip switches in the remote and the receiver. The dip switches in the remote are located inside the battery compartment. The dip switches on the receiver are located under a rubber plug. Simply pull the plug up to expose the dip switches. And use a small tool to set those switches to any combination of up or down. You can set the dip switches to any combination as long as both the remote and the receiver have the same dip switch settings. Once the dip switches are set, replace the rubber plug on the receiver and then replace the battery compartment cover onto the remote. You'll notice that one side of the receiver has the quick connect plug that will connect to the fan wiring. The other side of the receiver has two wires to connect to the house wiring. When installing the receiver, make sure the flat side of the receiver is facing towards the ceiling. Insert the receiver into the mounting bracket with the antenna side first, so that the receiver rests on the ball and downrod assembly. Begin wiring the fan by taking the plug from the fan wires and inserting that into the plug from the receiver. The connectors will simply snap together. Next, take the green wire from the ball and downrod assembly and twist that wire together with the green wire from the mounting bracket. Next, connect the green wires to the bare copper house wire. This is the ground connection. Finish the connection using a plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Next, take the white wire from the receiver labeled AC in N and connect that with the white house supply line. This is the neutral connection. Twist those two wires together and secure the connection using an included plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Finish the wiring by taking the red wire from the receiver labeled AC in L and connect that with the black house supply line. This is the power connection. Secure the connection using an included plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Once all the wiring connections have been made, gently tuck the wires around the mounting bracket to make room for the canopy to attach. The canopy attaches to the mounting bracket using two keyhole slots on either side of the canopy that will align with the two screws at the base of the mounting bracket. Align those holes with the screws in the mounting bracket and push the canopy up so the screws come through the keyhole slots. And then twist to hold the canopy in place. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to tighten those screws and secure the canopy. You can tilt the fan to make extra room for the screwdriver to access the screws. Make sure both screws are completely tight. The decorative ring is magnetic. You just need to align the slots of the decorative ring with the two screws at the base of the canopy, and then slide the decorative ring up, and it will attach itself to the bottom of the canopy. Next, remove the rubber band holding the wires at the base of the motor, and gently stretch the wire out. The light kit pan attaches to the fan using two keyhole slots and one standard screw hole. Those will align with the three screws in the black bracket in the base of the motor. Begin by first removing and saving one of the three screws, and then loosen but do not remove the two remaining screws. Feed the light wire through the center hole of the light kit pan. Then align the two keyhole slots of the light kit pan with the two screws that were loosened in the black bracket at the base of the motor. Push up and twist to hold the light kit pan in place. Then use the screw that was removed and saved and insert that screw into the standard screw hole of the light kit pan and use a Phillips head screwdriver to tighten that screw. Once that screw is tightened, completely tighten the 2 remaining screws. Make sure all 3 screws are completely tight. The LED light kit attaches to the fan in the same way, using 2 keyhole slots and 1 standard screw hole. These will align with the 3 screws in the light kit pan. Begin by first removing and saving 1 screw, and then loosening, but not removing, the 2 remaining screws in the light kit pan. Next, connect the LED module to the fan by inserting the plugs from the LED module into the wires from the fan. Connect the white wire from the LED module to the white wire from the fan, and the black wire from the LED module to the blue wire from the fan. The plugs will snap together when properly inserted. Once the wire connections are made, tuck the wires up into the light kit pan and align the keyhole slots of the light kit with the 2 screws that were loosened in the light kit pan. Press up and twist to engage those 2 screws. Then use the screw that was removed and saved and insert that into the standard screw hole of the light kit and completely tighten using a Phillips head screwdriver. Once that screw is completely tighten the 2 remaining screws in the light kit pan. The light shade uses a twist lock system to connect to the fan. There are 3 flat sides on the light shade that will align with the 3 nubs inside the light kit pan. Align the flat sides of the light shade with the 3 nubs in the light kit pan, then press the light shade up and twist clockwise until tight. The fan is controlled by the included remote control. Press the power button to turn the fan and light on and off. Press the fan speed button to cycle through the fan's 3 speeds. Press and release the light control button to turn the light on or off. Press and hold the light button to cycle through the dimming function. The color temperature button will allow you to cycle through the 3 light settings of the LED module. The default setting is for soft white at 3000K. Press and release this button to change the color settings. It will cycle from soft white to daylight to warm white and back to soft white. This fan features a 3-speed reversible motor. The reverse switch is located on top of the motor housing. Switch left creates a downward airflow to create a cooling effect during the hotter months. Switch right creates an upward airflow to pull warm air from the ceiling and push it down into the room during the cooler months. Make sure the fan is off and not running before changing the switch position. Congratulations! Your ceiling fan installation is now complete. Time to sit back, relax with a nice tall beverage, and enjoy your new ceiling fan. As always, thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please click like and subscribe down below, and that'll help other people find it as well. And as we always say around here, keep it breezy.